Some women are simply born rich, confident, and naturally magnetic to their desires. Let's be clear, this podcast is not for them. However, if you're a soul-driven, visionary, or entrepreneurial woman who's been on a mission to learn how to create a better future bursting to come out of you, welcome to my world. I'm Jo Warwick, and this is Rich, Sexy, and Free. I've dedicated most of my career to helping women get to their core power and unlock the missing pieces for their own unique success. You may already know me as the author of The Big Book of Love. With 30 years experience in psychology, embodiment, manifesting, and energetics, we will be exploring together the keys to becoming rich, sexy, and free. So if this excites you, don't forget to like and subscribe on your favorite platform so you can stay up to date with the podcast. Welcome to today's episode of Rich, Sexy, and Free. And today we're talking about sustainability, the new sexy. Now, often when we think of those words, sustainable, it can feel a bit dull, can't it? It can feel a bit dull. I've just been to a really beautiful tea shop with my mum, and it was all filled with antique furniture and old little teacups, and it was full of beautiful teas from all over the world, and it really did look stunning, and the food was amazing. But what I really thought about was the sustainability of the furniture that was in there. I know in myself, going through being an entrepreneur and the phases of learning being an entrepreneur, but also as somebody who has moved from being in trauma and reactive in those drama cycles to growing, expanding, freeing myself, all of those phases, then being in the hustle phase, chasing more, what it really means to be rich, sexy, and free, and the phase that comes after that, the phase that sustainability is sexy, like actually having a regulated life, having foundations, being secure in who you are is really the new sexy. Now, you could say it's because I'm 50 or turning 50, or is it this phase of my life? But do you know what? Having experienced the highs and the lows and the drama, they are phases. I don't think we should be in a position of saying they're wrong or they're bad. I believe they truly are phases of our human development, both as a collective and individual, as our human expansion and learning and growing with our souls. But there comes a point when we have to accept our power and shift from the way that we've been doing things, chasing the highs, and really enjoying the sustainable growth. Now, if you think about you're building your house, when you build any form of property, you put foundations in, solid, secure foundations, and you don't look to build the second floor until you built the first floor. You want something strong, you want something secure. Now, all of that sustainability, all of that security is very much sitting in the masculine energy within us. It's about having those foundations. And when I think about it, that antique furniture has been built with love and care, and it was solid, and it had lasted 100 years, 200 years. These were old antique pieces, and yet they were stable and they were strong because they were built with consideration and care, looking at longevity. But also with longevity, the sustainability factor is about the energy. It's about, when we think about our business or our lives, we're looking at where is it sustaining us and where are we sustaining it? Where is that cycle of energy recycling, fueling us, energizing us, moving forward with a sense of growth? Because sustainable doesn't mean stuck. It doesn't mean this stuckness. Now, I used to think that. I used to believe that anything that had a sense of feeling settled would mean I was stuck. But what I've learned from freeing myself from those drama patterns, those trauma patterns, those things that felt really uncomfortable, that sustainable doesn't mean stuck. Security, foundations, like a tree, you have to have really good, solid roots. And the reason I didn't trust that for a long time was because of my relationship with the masculine, my relationship with my father, the relationship with God and Jesus, and all the ways that I'd grown up as a Christian, the ways that I had been programmed from the masculine in my society. I did not have a great relationship with my own internal masculine. I hadn't had a chance to improve that relationship with my masculine. And so it took me a long time to get comfortable with my masculine. So I wasn't using my own masculine in a toxic way. I wasn't stuck in the hustle. I wasn't chasing to prove or in those ego states. That I learned to give myself that sustainable, providing, secure, solid, that I felt that in my body. And so those phases that I think about sustainable, and I think about how that shows up for us, it shows up for us in our body, that we're secure in our body, that our feet are on the ground, that our energy is solid, that we stand tall and what we call confident. But really it's that our hips are open, our body's open, our fascia is open, our muscles are strong, we're energetically strong on the inside, emotionally strong, mentally strong. That's sustainable. That gives us longevity in life. We know that. It's a fitness. It's a mental, physical, emotional, energetic fitness that gives us sustainability. And when I think about how I train my body when I'm working out, even with being a wild swimmer, I make sure that I train and work my body so I swim against the resistance. So whichever direction the sea is pulling to, I will swim against it, or in a river to get resistance training. It builds muscles. I also cycle, and that thinks about the longevity for my lungs and my muscles and my heart, getting everything pumping. So I think about the sustainability. Even though I like to do things in short bursts, that's the way that I do things, power sprints in the water or power sprints up hills and things like that. But when we think about it crossing that over onto a business or into your career or into your money, it's like, how am I approaching things that have for a long time been quite heavily masculine based, having a new energy into that, maybe that field for you, whether it's in the business, your own business, or as an executive, or in your own money and your investments and how you manage money and independence with money. Are you approaching it still from an insecurity and a lack of sustainability? Are you living month by month? Are you investing in a way that has a longevity to it, and you have a mixture of risks and things that give you long-term returns? So, it's where are you putting your money? But when you think about your business, that program of believing that being self-employed or having your own business is always going to have these highs and these lows and this drama, and that it's stressful, and that is at the beginning phase. But when you're building a business, there comes a point when you have to shift into the sexiness of sustainability and growth, because sustainable means that it's constantly growing. When we think about growing your own food, you're going to create a plot. You want to think about what is sustainable. Is it going to give you food just this season, or are you looking for things that are going to give you in every single season? If I was a farmer, I want to look at the biggest yield that I'm going to get back from the effort and the work that I put in, and that's exactly the same in your business. So it's changing this mindset and really checking in with ourselves energetically and physically. How do I feel about sustainability? How do I feel about being secure? Is it something I have to fight for? Because that might be a program that's still left over from trauma or your growth experience with the masculine, of going, oh my God, I have to fight to feel secure because I don't trust the masculine inside of me, or that I have to think that the masculine is going to take from me, that it's not safe and there won't be enough. We can have so many programs around this masculine energy of being secure and sustainable. But of course, we also then project it onto our own divine masculine, our internal divine masculine energy, our God factor, our extension of the divine, of God itself. The universe is made up of God and Goddess, divine masculine, divine feminine. It's made up of both energies. Now, this is really coming to the forefront because we are literally, today, as you're listening to this, it is the apex, the 8-8 Lionsgate apex. This is the biggest portal of the year of powerful energy coming in. Now, a lot of people think it's about manifesting. It's a big, powerful energy of actually bringing your divine energy into your body, your presence, and your ability to expand and lock in and be at your most powerful state. But there's also the confusion that there's only looking about the energy coming in, the rise energy, the energy of the feminine, which is the expansion energy coming into your body. But most people are unaware and don't use, it's the masculine energy, which is the wave that hits after the apex that's happening today. So we've had the rise of energy before the apex, which is doing all the clearing and the pushing and the squeezing and giving you more energy. But it's the wave, just like riding a wave as a surfer. It's the apex, the crest, and you don't ride that part of it when the wave's coming up. You ride the wave that comes after it. So we've got the crest, and then you look to ride it, and it's how you're riding it. Are you balanced? Are you secure? Are you solid? Are you directed? Are you focused? Are you being able to hold yourself on this surfboard? Do you feel secure riding this wave? That is the divine masculine energy. It's both the wave, the roar of the wave. If you've ever heard the sea, and when the waves are big, it is a roar. Yeah, it's a big roar, which is why this really fits in with the Lionsgate. So it's a big roar afterwards. And it's that roar is where the potential is, where the potential of being bigger and bolder and locking in this new way of being. And so there's two parts of this. You've got the expansion energy, you've got the growth energy, you've got potential, but you've also got this masculine force. How am I using this energy? Am I looking for sustainable growth? And am I looking for compound interest? Yeah, compound growth. Am I looking for this to last me, sustain me? Are you building? And this is a really good question. If you are somebody who is building a career or building your own business, are you looking for a small boutique business that just sustains you on a daily basis and that you live month by month and it's like the equivalent of having a job and it just entertains you, and it's a small business, you kind of work kind of hard for it, but you're not looking for something bigger? That might be a place where you're at. But if you're really wanting something that sustains you, supports you, has its own legs, grows and becomes a brand, a legacy, you're making a huge impact, whether that's in a corporate business or whether that's your own business, are you looking for something that's long term, lasting, legacy, growth, sustainable? And it doesn't have to be that you're a multi-millionaire and it doesn't have to all be about that, but it can be something, a business that makes a huge fucking impact and lasting and has its own ability. This is all masculine energy. This is all about, I have the vehicle, I have the driving force, to mix analogies, but on the wave, you have to have the surfboard. To ride the wave, you have to have the surfboard. To drive a car, you have to have the vehicle. To use the power for it to become something, you have to have a vehicle. You have to have the masculine form. Now, if you're a generator in human design, you are designed to build this. This is right up your boulevard. This is like, how do I use this energy and create with it? Because that's what you're here for. You are here to now build something with this energy. If you're a manifesting generator, you would then use this powerful energy to open up new portals, basically new ways of doing things. And it will happen in sort of bomb-like states, like you're sort of planting bombs and blowing up new ways. But you're using that energy in a really intentional way to create new ways and pathways for yourself and for others. If you're a projector like me, using this energy, for me, is about showing you, teaching the system, the understanding of this masculine energy, and creating a way in my life for sustainability. Yeah, it sustains me. If you're a reflector, you would be using this energy. You want to use this energy in a masculine way, would be about setting the boundaries, really holding integrity, authenticity where you're at. As a manifester, this is what really speaks to, of course, I'm going to manifest, I'm going to bring it in. Yeah, but it is the masculine form. I'm going to bring it into form. I'm going to have a really clear bit of this building. So it's that holding between the manifestor and the generator. How do I use this energy to the best form? The feminine of the expansion, the growth, the power, the masculine as the form, the structure, the focus, the sustainability, the foundation, the security. We've got to have both. This is why this is such a potent and powerful time to talk about this, with the apex happening today and what you do next. Now, out of this, I have been through the Lionsgate. I was downloaded, inspired, literally given this by God to talk about the lion's roar, which, as you've heard me talk about, is the wave roar that comes after. It's all about the masculine. And I am running the whole of next week the lion's roar, and it's a container inside Telegram. This isn't about activating. This is about mastery. This is about using the roar. This is about having that new understanding and really shifting that relationship with your divine masculine energy so it can show up and support you. It's a space to be within my projector magic and seeing that shift about how do I really take this wave forward, this roar forward. So if you like the energy of what I do on this podcast, if you're listening to this, if it speaks to you, if you really want to create this sustainable, and you want to get out of those patterns, of those drama patterns that you know you've completely fucking outgrown, it's no longer acceptable for you, then this is the space. This is where you're going to be bringing the harmony of your masculine and feminine into play. You're going to really be shifting some deep understanding. And it's only $44. Now, you may have heard me talk about the masterclass that I've been talking about for the last few weeks, Undercharge. Forgive me in sheer projector form, but this has superseded it. This came through. Everything is ready for the Undercharge masterclass, and it will be there for you. And it's coming through. It's ready to go. And yet I was made to delay. I just couldn't push the button for the last bit because this was meant to come through. This wave was meant to come through. And because with this energy, the masterclass makes total fucking sense. It's like locking in at the right place. So I have to work with the energy. This is what we do. And so if you want to come and join Lions Raw, or you can join now, all you have to do is come on over to www.richsexyandfree.com. Everything is accessible there. You can buy it there and join the Telegram group, jump in, whether you're joining today at the beginning, whether you're jumping in the middle of the week or at the end of the week, it's absolutely fine. From today, I really want you to think about those bits around your relationship with the masculine, because if you're a woman who have moved beyond those trauma patterns, that hustle pattern, and you're really at this point, it's like, I really want something that builds and lasts and grows and has longevity. And I don't want to keep repeating these cycles. You wouldn't allow the growth to happen if you don't feel like there is this sustainable, secure foundation within you and in what you're putting out into the world and how you're using that energy. You've got to have what I often call the river banks in your external world for that energy to flow, for the wave to have somewhere to go to, but also you've got to have it inside of you. And that's where we really start, inside of you with your divine masculine energy. So if this is speaking to you, I'd love to have you there. And of course, you can always come follow me, and you can find all access to Instagram and Facebook. Just head through the www.richsexyandfree.com. Everything is available there, and I look forward to speaking to you soon.
It's been great to connect with you today, but before you leave, if you want to find out more about how I can help you personally, or check out any of my books, products, or coaching packages, just simply go ahead and visit richsexyandfree.com. And I look forward to seeing you next week on the podcast.